Waking up that morning, I found myself alone at home, facing a puzzling situation. What is this? Why am I home alone? The usual family sounds were gone, leaving a strange quietness. They were always home around this time, and if any plans to go out were in motion, they would have undoubtedly informed me. As I checked each room for any sign, the emptiness grew, pushing me to step outside. Is it a prank they're playing on me? Or could it be related to the fact that I've been spending a lot of time playing video games? Stepping outside, I surveyed the entire yard, calling out for my family, but there was no response. The realization that they weren't there intensified my sense of concern. Determined, I expanded my search to the front of the house. As I scanned the surroundings, panic set in, a mix of fear and uncertainty. The daylight seemed a bit eerie, and the absence of any familiar faces made it all the more unsettling. Despite the growing unease, I pressed on, determined to unravel the mystery that was now unfolding right at my doorstep. Suddenly, my heart skipped a beat as I caught sight of a group of figures in the distance. My initial hope that it might be my family evaporated when I realized they were moving towards me with an eerie and unnatural gait. As I reached the yard, the reality of the situation sunk in. A horde of zombies, relentless and unyielding, closing in on me. The panic that had been simmering now boiled over, a mix of fear and adrenaline coursing through my veins. In that tense moment, my every instinct screamed at me to defend myself and protect the sanctuary of my home. And that is when I started to smash them. Returning to the house, a wave of relief washed over me, but the encounter with the zombies had taken its toll. The slight injury on my arm, hastily bandaged up with whatever materials I could find, served as a stark reminder of the perilous situation beyond our walls. In this makeshift sanctuary, the air was thick with uncertainty. The once familiar surroundings now echoed with the weight of the unknown. Despite the physical toll, a resolute determination took root within me. The mission was crystal clear: find my family. The atmosphere in the house, once a haven, now harbored the silent anxiety of the uncharted. Armed with newfound courage, I steeled myself for the challenges that lay ahead, fully aware that the journey to reunite with my loved ones would demand everything I had, physically and emotionally. With a bandaged wound as a grim testament to the recent encounter, I embarked on a mission to find my family. The journey led me to the neighboring houses, but the scene was eerily consistent, a haunting repetition of the horror I had faced at my own doorstep. Each corner held the looming threat of zombies, once familiar neighbors now transformed into relentless, deadly creatures. The atmosphere grew increasingly tense as I navigated through the once familiar streets, the haunting reality sinking in. Desperation set in with every failed attempt to find my family. The realization that the danger extended beyond my home sent shivers down my spine. In a world now fraught with peril, I pressed on, determined to uncover the fate of my loved ones amidst the chaos that had befallen the once peaceful neighborhood. Suddenly, as if sensing my presence, the zombies closed in on the neighbor's house. The urgency of the situation escalated, and I knew that staying put was no longer an option. With a quick glance around, I grabbed a few essential items, my heart pounding in sync with the impending danger. Each step carried a sense of urgency, my every move driven by the need to stay one step ahead of the relentless horde of zombies, who were now in pursuit of my every breath. Exhausted and yearning for a moment of respite, I took down a few zombies, but the weariness in my bones begged for a brief reprieve. Completely exhausted and understanding the risk of going back to my house, I opted to catch some much-needed sleep in the empty neighboring home. The next morning, a dense fog hung in the air, creating an unsettling vibe. Despite the eerie setting, I pressed on, driven by the need to find my family. In the midst of the fog, I confronted and dealt with numerous zombies, cutting through the eerie silence with each encounter. The goal remained clear: reunite with my loved ones amidst the challenging and foreboding conditions. In the midst of the fog-laden morning, my path intersected with a group of zombies. Determined to press on, I engaged in a battle against them. However, their numbers proved overwhelming, and the struggle became futile. Faced with the realization that they were too many to handle, I made a strategic retreat, hurrying back to the safety of the house. Returning to the house, the relentless encounter with the zombies spurred me into action. Swiftly, I grabbed a bag, gearing up for the battles that awaited outside. With a sense of urgency, I equipped myself, ensuring I had the necessary tools and supplies to confront the undead menace that lurked in the surroundings. Ready and determined, I searched extensively across the vast landscape, hoping to find any trace of my family. Despite putting in a lot of effort, the scene didn't change, a place marked only by emptiness and the lingering smell of fear. The large area, once familiar, now felt like an unfamiliar territory, and the silence was only broken by the occasional moans of the undead. Moving from house to house, I carefully explored each one, wishing to find a familiar face or any sign of life. However, despite the encounters with the relentless undead, the battles only added to a growing sense of hopelessness. The landscape, once comforting, now seemed like an unfamiliar and desolate space. As I continued through this disheartening panorama, the ongoing search felt like a never-ending nightmare. I confront numerous zombies, each encounter a test of my resolve. However, amidst the battles and the palpable tension, there were no signs of my family. Exhausted and bearing numerous wounds from the relentless battles with the zombies, the encroaching nightfall added an extra layer of difficulty to my already challenging situation. As I retreated towards the house, the weariness weighed heavily on me. In the dimming light, the search for my family seemed increasingly futile. As the night descended, the weight of exhaustion and the inability to locate my family left me grappling with a sense of hopelessness. I had unknowingly joined the ranks of the undead, and in doing so, had found a twisted semblance of reunion with my family amidst the relentless darkness. Please like and subscribe and follow me for more content like this.